What's for dinner? Pizza with the fresh homemade pizza sauce that we just made yesterday. Why not? It's fresh and we like pizza and it's Friday night. Let's go. So the first thing I like to do is take the homemade pasta sauce and I like to add 1 heaping teaspoon of ground up garlic into the jar and mix it up so it has a nice fresh garlicky flavor. Stir that all around. Let me see if I can get you down. So we'll make sure that we stir that heaping teaspoon of garlic, chopped up garlic in there. Get it all mixed. You can see it starting to distribute. I like to take my homegrown dehydrated oregano. And I'm not sure, probably, I guess that's maybe a teaspoonful. And put that in. And then I have my homegrown basil and about a teaspoon of that, and put that in. Now I like to, basically it rehydrates it, and I put it down into the tomato sauce and I'll get that all blended up. Okay, so we'll set that to the side and everything's going to rehydrate. And now I take 1 cup of warm water, but I like to test it. And I personally like it in and around 100 degrees. It's 91. So that's good enough for me. That'll activate the yeast nicely. Put that into my mixer. And we'll put in the sugar, 1/3 cup of sugar into the 1 cup of water. And there's 4 teaspoons of yeast. Put that in, and I'm just going to stir it in here to get it mixed a little bit with my spatula. Now we'll let that sit and bloom for a good 5 minutes. Once I see that it's actually working, that'll be good enough for me. We'll continue. So let's shred some cheese while we're waiting for the yeast to bloom. Do you guys get takeout on a Friday night, or do you make takeout? I figure it's nicer to have your own homemade pizza. You know what it was made from. I think it tastes nicer. It seems to digest nicer. I don't know. I think there's really no excuse to not make your own. Other than it is convenient to just phone somebody and wait for them to show up and you just pay them. Sometimes it's not always just about convenience, is it, folks? Sometimes it's nice to actually know what you're eating and be rest assured that even if you're eating class junk food, at least it's homemade and it's a step up from what you might get at a pizza store that just delivers to you on a Friday night. Put this back on, turn our plate. I think that's more than enough cheese, and whatever's left over, we'll just put it in a sandwich bag, and then when we either want to make sandwiches, or maybe if I make chicken parm, and you need a bit of mozzarella to be put in on top of the chicken parm, since we'll probably have extra sauce left over. There's lots more you can do with shredded cheese, and there's no chemicals on it. There's no, what is it, cellulose? Is it wood pulp or whatever that they put on the pre-shredded cheese? No thanks. I like my cheese to be cheese, and only cheese. Anyhow, alright, so that is blooming. I'll see if we can take you over there and have a look. So let's put in the rest of our ingredients, and that is the butter. There is a 1/3 cup of butter. Actually, it's a 1/4 cup of butter, sorry. I usually between melt it or at least have it very soft. And melts in there and spreads nicer in the dough. And 1 egg that is slightly beaten. And that's that. And then I start to mix it, and I'll add the flour. There is 3½ cups of flour. While it's still mixing, I'll put in the 1 teaspoon of salt. I like to put the salt in last because I have read different articles that say that the salt will hinder the yeast. So I put it in at the last, but sometimes I forget it because then I get too last. I like to add a drizzle of oil, olive oil. I like that in the dough. It makes it very soft and pliable. If you can see, the dough is cleaning away from the bowl. It's very soft in there. It's going to be a very tender and nice pliable dough. So I've got the dough kneaded to where I like it. And now I'm going to take some olive oil and I'm going to put on my cookie pan. And just spread it around with my fingers. Like finger painting in grade 3. I always enjoyed that. And it does a better job than anything else that I have in the kitchen to use. You want to make sure you get into the corners and up the sides a little bit. So then when your pizza's done, your dough comes out real nice. Okay, so we're going to start putting the pizza on the pan. Try to get it coaxed to fill the whole pan for us. And sometimes it stretches right back where I just pulled it from. So we'll see if we can get it convinced to go to the corner and stay in the corner. I like to put it up the side just a little bit so it holds the sauce. And the roasted pasta sauce, I just made it yesterday. It had garlic and peppers and tomatoes and onions in it. And then I added dry oregano and dried basil. And over a heaping teaspoon of ground up garlic. The garlic just brings the whole sauce to life. All my grandkids really enjoy eating the homemade pizza at Grandma's house. Alright, I think we have got that shaped good enough. And I'll take my sauce and just pour some on. And I'll get a spoon to the toppings that I got out for tonight. I have green olives, I have pepperoni, and I have jalapenos, like the cowboy candy, the sweetened cowboy candies. The jalapenos, I try to make that recipe whenever I get short on it. But boy, oh boy, you gotta have the windows open when you make it because the vapors off of the jalapenos is pretty intense. So as you can see, this cookie sheet, it took half of the pint of sauce that I made up. So now we can use the rest of that in maybe just even some boiled noodles tomorrow or something. I like to put my cheese on next, and then I put my toppings on top of the cheese. I used to put the toppings on and then put the cheese on top, but I find that the pepperoni just never cooks as nice as what I was hoping. So I've switched it around and I put the cheese on top of the sauce. And I'll keep a little bit for the very top. Spread that around. So do you guys get takeout on the weekends? A lot of people, I guess, do on a Friday night. I generally don't. I either have a roast in or something, but tonight, because I was helping my daughter today do canning, I'm like, nah, I'm not cooking a big meal. I have a chicken defrosted in the oven or in the fridge. I guess I'll cook that tomorrow and I'll bring you along for that. So let's put some pepperonis on. And we'll do the green olives and the cowboy candy. Looks like we're going to have too much pepperoni too. So I guess I have the choice. I can just keep cramming them on, or I can just leave it. But well, maybe I'll make it just work. Look at that. Perfect. Now the cowboy candies. They are sweet, but ooh, they got a bite. So anyways, we'll put those on. I don't have any peppers sliced up for putting on top. We're just going to do onion and the jalapenos, pepperoni, and the green olives. So now I'll get some green olives and we'll just scatter them across the top. Look like the pizza is going to be green and white tonight with only a little bit of color from the pepperoni. And that's okay because I enjoy that bit of salty bite from the green olives. It's about the only place I really like to have olives. Maybe nachos. But yeah, this kind of stuff is about the only place I like the green olives. So let's get this in the oven and get it baking. I'm hungry and I'd like to eat my supper. So see you in a minute. Okay, let's get this pizza in the oven. Friday night dinner. No takeout for us. We're making our own takeout. I have the oven on at 425 and I'll cook the pizza at 425 for 10 minutes and then I'll turn it to 350 and I'll cook it 5 to 10 minutes more to finish the cooking. Well, hot diggity, the pizza's done. Let's get it out of the oven. Supper is about to be served. Now tell me that pizza doesn't look delicious and you'd like to get a slice. Well, you come on over and I'll get you one. Enjoy. One thing I like to do to get it out of my pan is I use this big, it's a fish spatula. And I like to put it in there and then I just slide it down the whole entire pan. And then I know it's free to come out and I'll put it on a wooden cup. So let's see if I can do this while I'm on videoing. Without tearing my pizza apart. There we go. Perfect. Now we'll get a slice and see what the taste test is like. So who likes the corner piece with the crust all the way around, eh? Or do you like the soft gooey inside pieces with less crust? Well, folks, I like the crust. So I'm going to take the 2 corner pieces and then I'll put these pieces on the other guest's plate. You gotta love it when it's nice and cheesy. Homemade pizza and homemade toppings. Wonderful. Just to have a look at the dough, folks. Nice and tender, fluffy. So good. Anyways, let's try this with the homemade sauce and homemade pizza dough. What a delicious supper for tonight. Very pleased that we made homemade pizza. The chicken's tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. Blessings to you and your family. Bye.